Welcome back to Betsy's Corner. We're going to look at solving multi-step inequalities, and this is our second day on the topic. So we're going to do a lot of word problems today. So let's first look at what we have here. Okay, I'm not going to read all the list. You can pause it and take a look. But the keywords for solving inequalities, there's a lot of them. So this is we use a lot is greater than symbol, is more than, greater than or equal to, at least, is not less than, something like that, is less than here, is under, fewer than, just some examples. Is less than or equal to, is at most, we see that one a lot, is not greater than. So again, if you want to take a closer look at this list, you can just pause the video. All right, let's get started. So we're going to write and solve a multi-step inequality. So we're going to consider the inequality. The opposite of a number divided by 2 minus 17 is less than 7. Okay, first we're going to translate it. So the opposite of a number, the opposite means the opposite sign. So we're going to go the opposite of a number. I'm going to use x. You can use n or any other variable you like. Divided by 2 minus 17 is less than 7. And I like to read it back before I get started in solving. So the opposite of a number divided by 2, that looks good, minus 17 is less than 7. All right, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to solve it. So again, I want to get x by itself like we've been doing. Add 17 to both sides. So I have negative x over 2 is less than 24. I'm going to multiply by negative 2 because I want to get that 1x by itself. Multiply both sides by negative 2. Now remember, when we multiply or divide by a negative number, I'm going to change the direction of my sign. So I have x is greater than negative 48. Okay, so we're going to graph it. My zeros here. My negative 48 is somewhere down here. I have an open circle because that's greater than, not greater than or equal to. So I have an open circle to the right. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Here we have 5 times a number minus 1. So 5 times a number minus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 11. Okay, again, I'm going to get x by itself, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And I have 5x is greater than or equal to negative 10. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So I have x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Okay, so then I have to graph that. I have 0 here, negative 2 here. Again, it's greater than or equal to, so that's including negative 2 as my solution, so I'm closed circle to the right. Okay, the next one says the sum of 15 times the number and 30. So we know we're going to add it because it says the word sum. So we have 15 times the number and 30 is less than the difference. So we know we're going to subtract of 10 times a number and 45. So we know we're subtracting there, not adding, because it says the word difference. All right, again, there's my wall. I'm going to bring my x's to one side. So I have 5x plus 30. Bring my constants to the other side. So I have 5x is less than negative 75. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So I have x is less than negative 15. So I have 0 here, negative 15 somewhere. Open circle, right? Because it doesn't have an equal sign underneath there, and it's less than. All right, so let's look at some word problems. Susie wants to self-publish her comic book. One printing company offers to publish the book for a $220 flat rate, so it's going to be important, plus $3 per copy of the book. Okay, her maximum budget is $400, so that's all she can spend. How many books can Susie self-publish on her budget? All right, so let's see what we have here. We're going to have $220 flat fee, so that they're going to pay that no matter what, plus $3 per copy of her book. So we'll make that an X. You can use any letter you want. Her maximum budget is $400. So I like to sometimes just put that number to the right and then work on my inequality. So I can't spend more than $400, but she can spend $400 exactly. So whatever's going on here has to be less than or equal to $400, right? Because $400 is going to be her max. All right, so let's solve it to see how many books she can actually publish. So again, I'm going to get x by itself. So if 3x is less than or equal to 180, Divide both sides by 3. So x is less than or equal to 60. Okay, so since it's a word problem, we're going to say Susie can publish, right? We have to add some words to the word problem and answer the question. Up to 60 copies of her book. Now, again, there's lots of ways as we started the lesson. We could say 60 copies or less, or no more than 60. Lots of different ways you can say that. All right, let's look at our next one. Jamal has $40 to buy tickets to a performance for himself and as a friend. So $40 is going to be important. If he buys a $10 membership, right, he's going to buy that membership one time, he can buy $5 for each ticket. So I like to put that big number on the right, like the end game. He's got $40. That's it. Okay, so he's going to pay a $10 membership and then $5. I'm going to make that T for ticket. So again, he can spend $40 or less. So everything going on this side has to be less than or equal to 40. Okay, so let's get T by itself to see how many tickets he can buy. Divide both sides by 5. So T is less than or equal to 6. Okay, so Jamal can buy at most 6 tickets, right? Again, we could say 6 tickets or less. Lots of different ways to say that. Okay, thanks so much for stopping by today. You have a great day.